Dharma prochita kaitava atra paramo nirmasaranam satam vedyam vasam atra vastu sivadam tapatrayon moolanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamunikrit Kumbha Parairishwarah Sadhya Hridi Avarutyate Atra Kritibihi Sushu Shubhi Sakshanat Nihama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam Sukamukat Amritam Driva Samyuktam Vivada Bhagavatam Rasamalaya Muraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavuka Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayam Budhirayet Vasudeve Bhavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitah Janayati Asu Vairahyam Jnanam Chayat Ahaitukam Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhavata Sevaya Bhavati Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki Vasudeva Para Veda Vasudeva Paramakaha Vasudeva Para Yoga Vasudeva Para Kriyaha Vasudeva Param Jnanam Vasudeva Param Tapaha Vasudeva Paro Dharma Vasudeva Para Gati Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranama Dukkha Shamanastam Namami Harim Param Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhaktya tu ananya sakya ahameva vidu Arjuna Jnatum drishtam cha tatvena pravishtam cha parantapa. In the Bhagavad Gita, 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, at the end of this chapter, Krishna mentions this particular sloka. The meaning of sloka is telling to Arjuna, of course, telling to all of us, that through Vedas, through penance and austerities, or through giving some charities and gifts, or performing various kinds of yagya, one cannot simply see me. See me means God, Krishna. The question is, we thought we have to be well versed in Vedas. We should know Bhagavad Gita. We should know everything, Bhagavatam, everything, right? That is one side. And we thought also we have to do a lot of fasting, vratas, austerities, and so forth. Number two. Number three, we thought that by giving a lot of charity, doing a lot of charity work, or even for the temple purpose, giving so much donation, whatever it is, one should not or one cannot come to a point thinking that by doing all this thing, I can be able to see God. So, what else we have to do to see God? If reading through the Vedas, if doing austerity, if giving charity, doing yajna and pujas and dana and dharma, if none of these things are going to help me to see God, what is it going to help me then? If none of these things are going to help me to see God, then why even I have to study? Why even I have to attend Bhagavatam classes or do Ekadashi Vrita or Dwadeshi Parayana or charity? Why do we have to do all these things? Because we all want to be with God, we want to see God. Krishna says in this sloka in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktya tu ananya sakyaha. Bhaktya tu ananya sakyaha. Ahameva vidu Arjuna. Please understand, Arjuna, there is only one way, only one path by which I can be seen, by which I can be understood, by which one can come to me. And what is that path? Krishna says, Bhakti. Bhakti yoga is the only way. Devotion. Bhakti means devotion. By performing devotional service, devotion towards God, exclusive devotion. It's not devotion in general. It has to be exclusive devotion towards Krishna. Exclusive devotion to Krishna. By performing exclusive devotion to Krishna, one can be able to come to the stage of purifying one's consciousness, and by that, one will be able to attain Krishna. One will be able to see Krishna. Well, how do we do this one? How to start bhakti? One has to understand to start bhakti, there are many, many obstacles before starting bhakti. Those obstacles are stopping us to proceed to perform bhakti. We can see that in our life. We wanted to do something, bhakti, nothing else. We want to do bhakti, but we get into so many of different things, problems. We're not able to go smooth in our life. I want to I want to get up in the morning and do my chanting. I'm not able to get up. I want to be reading Bhagavad Gita every day. I have a desire. I'm not able to do that. I want to listen to daily Bhagavad Gita, but I'm not able to keep it up every day. Why am I having all this problem? These are all part of practice of bhakti. What is it stopping me to do these things? Those are there are many, many obstacles in everyone's life that's stopping us to proceed in this path. And those obstacles are again because of our previous karmas and vasanas. And these previous karmas and vasanas plays a major role in not making us to proceed in the path of bhakti. They are blocking us. They're stopping us. So how do we get out of this? How do we get out of reduce our obstacles? Therefore, it is important to understand that Krishna has created this beautiful system called Varna Ashrama system. Varna and Ashrama system. Therefore, one has to understand this Varna Ashrama system and lead life accordingly, following their respective dharma. Dharma of a Brahmana should be followed. Dharma of a Kshatriya should be followed. Vaishya and Sudra, Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. If they follow their respective duties very nicely, then things that's blocking us in the path of bhakti can be removed. Once the obstacles are removed, one will be able to perform with proper knowledge that bhakti that Krishna is asking for. Therefore, the means and the goal in the process of bhakti are the same. Same meaning, my mean, my goal is to attain Krishna. And how do I attain Krishna? By praying and worshipping Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is the path, Krishna is the mean, and the goal is also Krishna. Bhaktya tu ananya sakyaha ahameva vido Arjuna. Please understand, Arjuna, there is no other options that you can look for to attain me other than bhakti. And this is what has been explained to Yudhishthira Maharaj by Narada Muni. This is what we saw in the last session. What are the duties of Brahmanas? What are the duties of Kshatriya? What are the duties of Vaishyas? What are the duties of Shudra? Brahmanas are the priestly orders. Kshatriyas are administrative people who are kingly order. And Vaishyas are mercantile, the business people, business class people. And the fourth one is the Shudras, who are none other than the labor class. Okay. We saw their duties and responsibilities. And then we also discussed about the duties of a woman. Where does women fit into all this thing? And do they also go to forest? Do they also have to do all these different things that's been mentioned? All they have to do is assist their husband in the path of dharma. By simply assisting the husband and the family members in the path of dharma, they can easily attain Vaikuntha. And this is what is told by Narada Muni to Yudhishthira in Srimad Bhagavatam. So far, we saw these things.
Prabhu,
Now,
there is a question. The question is, where do the Vaishnavas fit in this?
where
Which,
does Vaishnava fit in?
yes.
Yes. So the Vaishnava, of course, these are all have to, whatever we are doing in the past of these classes, we have to, when we keep Krishna as the center and do it, they are all Vaishnavas. Vaishnava
Okay.
is not something different outside from these things. I am a king, Krishna conscious king. I am a Brahmana, Krishna conscious Brahmana. I am a Shudra, Krishna conscious Shudra. I am a Grahastha, family man. Krishna conscious family man. When we apply Krishna consciousness into these Varnashrama system, everyone is Vaishnava. There's nothing separate out of it. But then if we are removing Krishna from the picture and are simply following these things, then we are following what needs to be followed, but then not to we are not going to get the 100% of the final result of achieving Krishna, because we are already removed Krishna from the picture, but I'm doing only my duty. But the duty has to be for the duty has to be done for the purpose of purification and to attain Krishna back. Therefore, a Vaishnavas are one who applies this Varnashrama system for satisfying Krishna. Make sense, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, saying that one, next, Narada Muni gets into the details of, now we saw about Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. We completed this one. Now he goes into the next one as the Brahmachari, Gragastha, Vanaprastha, and then Sannyas. Who are the Brahmacharis? Brahmacharis, in general, people have an idea. Brahmachari means one who could not find a spouse, not married person, because he still couldn't find a right match. Therefore, he's called Brahmachari. Unfortunately, that is not the definition or what Brahmachari means. Brahmachari and Brahmana, you can see that the prefix of these two things, Brahma, has been the term Brahma has been used, right? Brahma means the absolute truth. Hmm? Brahmana and Brahmachari are 100% dedicated during the time, 100% dedicated in realizing God. Therefore, they are called Brahmanas, and therefore they are called Brahmacharis. They are, Brahmacharis are the one, also in simple language, is called student life. Brahmachari are in student life, staying in the Gurukul under the guidance of the Guru and serving the Guru submissively and learning from the Guru the Vedas, the Veda mantras, how to perform yagyas, how to perform devotional service, everything. They do menial service to their Guru. And especially the Brahmachari is the one who avoid any connection with women. They keep celibacy as a main focus. They keep away from the. If you see in the four things, that is Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas, only Grahastha has the privilege, I would say, to be with a woman. Everyone else, Vanaprastha, of course, with certain restrictions. But otherwise, you can see no one has that freedom, or the freedoms are restricted only to the Grahasthas. So brahmachari should not be going to Facebooks and YouTubes and watching all these different dances and whatever I attractive things of opposite gender. So that is not what brahmachari is supposed to do. They should be completely away from these activities. After saying these things, Narada Muni started telling a story. Now the story goes about Bhakta Prahlad. We just now we completed the story of Prahlad as a small boy, how Narsimadev came and saved Bhakta Prahlad, right? Now this is a story, another story of Prahlad, where Narada Muni says, he gives this example. One time Prahlad was traveling to different places. While he was traveling different places so that he can see and get association of saintly people. He wanted to be in association of saintly people, good people. So while he was traveling different places with his associates, he came to a place called Kaveri. As a Kaveri river, there's a river called Kaveri, like Ganges. You all familiar with Ganges? Yamuna, Godavari, Narmada, so many different wonderful rivers are there, right? Like there's another one called Kaveri. Kaveri Virajaseyam Vaikuntam Rangamantiram Sa Vasudeva Rangasya Pratyaksham Paramam Padam. What the sloka says is, this is not Bhagavatam slokam, I'm just quoting a sloka. There is a place in southern India which is on the both side the river Kaveri runs, and in the center there's a beautiful place. very beautiful place, surrounded by this river on the both side, and this river is Kaveri, and in the center is a beautiful place called Sri Rangam. Hmm? What it says is that Kaveri Virajaseyam means there is a river called Viraja River. River is the river that divides or separates the material world and the spiritual world. That's the river. It separates the spiritual world, which is Vaikunta, and the material world, Bhuloka, right? All the 14 planetary systems, multiple universes. So that Viraja Nadi, Viraja river, has descended into this material world as Kaveri, as Kaveri. And that Vaikuntam has come down, and that is none other than Rangamandiram. Rangamandiram means Sri Rangam. So if the Viraja has come down as Kaveri, if Vaikunta has come down as Sri Rangam, what about Vasudeva? What about God? Vasudeva Rangesha means that Vasudeva, the Supreme Lord Narayana, has come down as Rangesha, Ranganath, Swami Ranganath. This is just a side note. That is not what we are going to cover here. Now the story, let's start with this. I just want to give an emphasis on Sri Rangam. If at all you get a chance to go to India next time, it's a beautiful place to visit. Very huge temple, big temple, where Lord Krishna lying down in a sleeping pose. Very huge deity, very big deity. So Sri Rangam temple is very nice. Is in southern part of India. Now Prahlad was traveling different places. He came to Kaveri, the area of Kaveri. Over there, when he came there, he happened to see a saint. He was surprised to see this saint. This person, a saintly person, he appeared to be a saintly person, but he seemed to be stout. Stout means big body, very strong body, fat. And he was quite surprised to see a saintly person having a stout body and doing nothing. Just he was just in one place. So he was going and asking the saintly person, "Sir, excuse me, sir, I have a doubt. Can I ask you this doubt? That is, you seem to be stout and fat. Usually, I know rich people are like that. They're extremely fat because they eat a lot continuously and they sleep a lot and perform little work. Therefore, they gain weight. They become huge. How did you become so fat? How did you become so fat? So we talk about this obesity and uh, you know uh, dieting and etc. So Prahlad is asking such an interesting question on behalf of us. How did you become so fat? You should be slim and thin and healthy and etc. But at the same time, you seem to be happy also. But you don't seem to be a rich man. You are not doing anything. But how did you become fat? That is his problem. What type of question is this? You might be thinking, what type of question is, how does it matter? Why is he interfering in someone else's personal details and personal life? But there's a deeper meaning to it, right? He's asking, the reason that he's asking will be revealed soon. He said that you're happy, number one, but you don't do anything. You're in one place. At the same time, a saintly person, being a saintly person, rather than being skinny and all those things, you seem to be fat. It's quite contradicting. How can you be so? So the rishi responded back.
Prabhuji, what is contradicting means?
Contradicting means two different things. You um, can you eat your food and also at the same time try to drink water?
No.
There are two contradicting things, right? You can do one thing at a time, correct?
Yes.
So when two different things comes together, that is called contradicting.
Okay.
Okay. So here too, it's contradicting because you have to eat well to become fat, correct, Rukmini? If you want to become big, huge,
Yes.
belly pot, then you
Yes.
have to eat well. But
Yes.
this sage, the saint, was not seem to be eating much, but he's still fat. That is contradicting, correct?
Correct.
Got it? Okay. Now here, The sage started speaking. What he said is, I in my life have had enough enjoyment. I was trying to find enjoyment, trying to somehow position myself in this world, establish myself in this world with some when prestige, from wealth, name, everything. I want to enjoy the max in the body that I have. So I was trying to do all this thing and finally came to an understanding that I'm not being happy, but I'm trying to be happy. So I thought, what am I supposed to do to become happy? And I got an answer. For me to become happy, I just have to do one thing. If I do that one thing, I'll become happy. Who wants to guess what that one thing is? If I do that one,
Prabhuji, Prabhuji, can I?
yeah, go ahead.
I think the one thing is Bhakti Yoga.
Correct. Thank you. But there's one more answer is needed. But your answer is perfectly correct. Thank you. But I'm trying to find happiness. I want to be happy. But finally, I understood if I do this one thing, I'll be really happy. What else could be there other than Bhakti Yoga? Anyone else? Just give an attempt. Sukham atyantmano rupam sarveho parittanuhu. No one want to make a try? Okay. For one to become happy, I understood I should stop trying to find happiness. Simple. Okay. It's simple for him, I understand, but that's the ultimate answer. Answer is, how can we become happy? The answer is by stopping to become happy. One become happy. Anyone disagree to the statement? The silence is
Is
agreement.
that the contentment also, like if you are contented, so that is also happiness?
Yes, yes. First thing is to stop trying to find happiness outside, because we know the outside happiness is not nirantara. Nirantara means it's not going to be everlasting, and we have experienced this throughout our life. Throughout our life, we all know that very well. But nevertheless, we go for it, trying to find happiness. Maybe Sunday will be a better day for me. I'll find happiness Sunday. Yeah, we keep going, trying this one. Rather, what has been told by the sage to Prahlad is stop trying to find that happiness. Well, how can I want to be happy. Why should I stop trying to find happiness? Well, you have to be happy. I have to be happy. I'm happy. You can see me. I'm happy. But I'm not trying to derive the happiness from the external thing, but I'm trying to be happy within myself with what I have, with what I am. That is what Kuntiji said, being content with what we have. First of all, we need to understand what we have, the value that we have. Most of the time, we don't even value what we have, and we are trying to value something else which is beyond our imagination. Therefore, understand what we have. When we try to understand what we have, we'll be happy. Trying to understand and be self satisfied. Most of the time, we are not self satisfied. Most of the time, we are externally trying to get things to be happy in our life. Therefore, the sage is giving an example like a deer. Deer cannot see the water under the grass. The deer in the forest is want to drink water, but it's standing somewhere, and the water is covered by some grass. You see a lot of grass will be there, but underneath there's water there. But the deer cannot see the water right there where it's standing, but then is trying to search for water elsewhere. Finally, what's going to happen? It's not going to find the water that is looking for, and is going to die without water. Likewise, we also try to find happiness outside, but we're not going to find that happiness outside. Therefore, it is important that we try to find happiness within ourselves. So, what are we trying to do in our life every day? What is that we are trying to do in our life every day? Only simple thing we are trying to do. Two activities. By doing one activity, we are trying to derive another thing, result. What we are trying to do is get rid of distress. Okay? Every day, this is what we are trying to do. We may not notice it, we may not realize it, but behind the scene, this is what is happening. What's happening is I am every single day trying to get rid of the distress. Why do I do that? So that I can, exactly, I can be happy. Every one of us doing this one. We know, there is no exception about whether you're a devotee or a non-devotee. We have practiced this yoga or that yoga. Doesn't matter. This applies universal. We are all working hard to get rid of distress and so that we can achieve happiness. We can be happiness. But we are baffled. We are failing in that process. How much ever we try to get rid of the distress, something else pops up. It's a continuous fight between trying to get rid of the distress and trying to achieve the happiness. It's a continuous going on fight. So we are not able to be successful how much ever we try to do. And we are going to be continuing throughout our life, not this lifetime, all the lifetime, this is going to be the battle that we have to go through. As long as we are trying to find happiness externally, this battle will never end. But when we stop finding the happiness external and trying to find happiness within, the battle is finished. There's no more war. We are in peace. We are in complete peace. Because the external things are out of our control. We can never control. Adhyatmika, Adidhaivika, Adibhautika. You all heard this several times now. The problems and miseries caused by one's own body and mind, the problems that's caused by the other living entities, the problems that's caused by the supernatural power. We have no control of any of these things. And we're trying to challenge them, which is impossible. We are limited with our powers. We can't do it. So it doesn't matter how much wealth we have in our life. Even a richest man, how much our wealth he has. Sometimes we hear that the rich people cannot have a peaceful sleep. They need to take some sort of intoxication or some sort of medication to go to sleep, deep sleep. Not everyone, but we know that there are people who have to habituate it to have something before they go to sleep so that they can have a deep sleep. Rich people. So simple sleep, they cannot get it. At the same time, those who does not have money, poor people, they are also not having sleep. Rich people, because they have money, they cannot sleep. The poor people, because they don't have money, they cannot sleep. Right? So both cases are trying to not have happiness in their life. I'm not telling sleep is the only happiness. I'm just giving an example here. Both of them could not be have peace in their life, be happy in their life. Whether you have money, whether you don't have money, both are having problem. Why? Happiness is looked upon outside, not inside. Is not seen inside. Therefore, these are all examples not I am giving. These are the examples that the sage is speaking to Prahlad. He is giving these examples to Prahlad. Therefore, I learned, I have two gurus. I'm not talking myself. I'm talking about this sage is speaking here. He's telling, I have two gurus. I learned an important two critical messages from them. Madhukara Maha Sarpa Loke Asmin Na Guru Tamaha Vairagyam Paritosam Che Papta Yet Chikshaya Vayam. He said that I have two gurus. One is Sarpa, another one is Madhukara. That is, Madhukara means the bees, the honeybee. One is honeybee, another one is Mahasarpa. Mahasarpa means python, big snake. Mahasarpa means python. A python and bee. So do we have any more kids here in this group? Did any, oh, Anirudh, are you there? Are you listening? Or anyone else? Gopal, kids are there? No kids are here? Other than
Prabhuji,
Rukmini?
Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Who's that?
Anirudh.
Anirudh, thank you. Rukmini, I'll come back to you. Anirudh, do you know what python means?
A python is a huge snake which is a squeezing predator. It lives in the African savanna.
Oh my God, you have so much detail about this python. Does python move around very fast? What is it activities are? How does it do? What is it?
Activities are finding nests underground and digging and moving medium speed.
Very good. It doesn't move fast. It just slowly slither, right? Very, very slow movement. Most of the time, it doesn't move at all. You don't know whether it's living or is it dead. It just lies down, right? So
Right.
that is python. So Rukmini, what about bee? Honeybee? What does honeybee do?
Honeybee, it moves fast and if we come very close to it, it would like do something to us and it gives honey.
Okay, it doesn't give honey, it takes honey. Okay, it takes honey from all the flowers. It goes from one flower to another flower to another flower to another flower and takes that honey, collects it, right? That's what honeybee does. So what is the message that this sage has learned from this honeybee and python? How much ever the honeybee collects everything and put it in one place, finally what happens? What happens to the honey collections of honey? We all know that. Who wants to say? Hare Krishna.
Someone else would take it away.
Exactly. Take it away. Someone will come and take it away. Therefore, from the my guru, the honeybee, what I learned is to be unattached for the accumulated wealth. Here it is said wealth, but it applies to everything. Unattached to your name, unattached to your position, unattached to your fame, of course, unattached to your wealth. Because any of these things, we know very well, everything goes away. Your position, your name, your fame. You may be famous today. Someone else may do a better job than us tomorrow. Then we'll be forgotten, totally forgotten. We'll be in history or we may not be in history. That's how the world is. So we may be famous today. We may have hundreds of followers today. There could be someone else coming tomorrow. So we know very well, as long as we are attached to these things, that much degree, we have to go through severe pain in our heart. Severe pain. So the lesson that I learned from the honeybee is be completely detached, knowing the fact that these things will go away from me one point. It could be any time. It could be today or tomorrow. It could go away in a nicer manner or it could be in a humiliating manner. Doesn't matter for me. I am detached from these things. Okay, we cannot expect everything will move on in a very palatable way that we are expecting. It could be in totally a different way that we may lose our wealth, we may lose our name, we may lose any of these things, undesirable way. But since I am not attached to any of these things, it doesn't matter For me, whether I've been glorified or whether I've been insulted, whether I have wealth or I don't have wealth, whether you follow me or you don't follow me, peace, we can be in peace. We can really be happy. You all agree, right? I'm not saying you have to agree, but does it make sense? You all know that you're all advanced in the subject matter. Maybe I'm just repeating what I said. Now let's go to the second example of Python, Mahasarpa. This Mahasarpa, what the lesson that I learned, the sage is saying to Prahlad, the message that I learned from Mahasarpa is do not over endeavor for anything. Be satisfied with what comes on your way. Okay? Don't over endeavor for anything. Let things, when it comes on your way, you just take it. That is what Python does. It doesn't go try to hunt anything. It just lies down in that place. Frog comes or something comes, it just opens its mouth, tuck, catches, finish. So whatever comes, comes in whatever the form it comes, take it as prasad, mercy of God, and live with that happily. Don't be agitated. So the Python is unagitated. Like that, these two lessons I learned, one from honeybee, to be detached, not be attached, one from the Python, not to over endeavor, accept whatever comes on your way. Be happy with those things that you have in our life. Therefore, in this way, I have no reason to blame anyone or even praise anyone. Everything is happening as per what needs to be happened. Everyone is functioning because of their own vasanas and karmas. Therefore, whom to be blamed here? No one to be blamed. We just go on with things in our life. Therefore, Bhakta Prahlad heard this and he accepted the wonderful message from the saintly person. Narada gave this example to Yudhishthira Maharaj. And after hearing the story, Yudhishthira Maharaj became very, very happy. And then Narada Muni said, Grahasthas, the householders, they have to take care of their family, earn for their livelihood, rather than trying to be selfish of keeping everything to them. They have to use their wealth, knowledge, whatever that they have for the society, for serving others, for 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 establishing the bhakti yoga, to give the knowledge of bhakti, to facilitate in such a way everyone can become devotees of Krishna. So this is a duty of grahasthas, because grahasthas are the one who has money. Brahmachari does not have money. You should not be having bank account. Vanaprastha are retired people. Of course, there's no income for them. Please, we are going to talk about Vanaprastha because we might be understanding differently what Vanaprastha means. We'll talk about that a little later. But Vanaprastha doesn't have income. Sannyasi, completely out of money matter. You should not be dealing with money. You must be surprised. Well, I see many sannyasis nowadays. They have all the wealth. Even the richest man will not have so much money. We see when you hear some newses in the name of sannyas, many people are just minting money, making money. They have their own place now. They have their country. They make their own country. They started giving visas to their country. Okay, many things are happening in the world. So these are all not sannyasis. Nothing to do with sannyas order. Sannyas should not deal with money at all. So grahasthas, coming to the point of grahasthas, grahastha means householders who's having family, and their purpose of having family is to serve the sannyasis, serve the brahmacharis, serve the brahmanas, and engage the sudras. So that's how they have to do. So they can progress. spiritually. And as much as possible, they have to associate with saintly people. Very important. One of the important principle in Grahastha ashram is one has to try to associate with saintly people. That's how they will progress spiritually. If they don't associate, they further get materially attached. They have to keep the association of saintly people. So they should, in the process of running the family, they should know that I am not the proprietor. Everything belongs to Krishna. I've been given an in charge as an husband to this Jivatma. I've been given an in charge to serve this person as my husband because he is part and parcel of Krishna. I've been given an in charge of parent to take care of these children whose properties of Krishna. So we connect every single thing to God. And that is how the Grahastha should utilize everything in Krishna consciousness. That is how they have to function. And they have to utilize everything in service of God and service of others. Those who do not do so are called in Mumbai language or in an Indian language, they call kanjus. Yeah, I'm sure you must have heard this word called kanjus, right? Very, very miserly people. Miserly. They don't want to give $1. They don't want to share their food with others. They don't want to share any of those things with others. But when they have problems, they want to others to be involved. There are people like that. When they get everything, they don't want to share. But when they get into problem, they want the whole world to support and help them. That is how these selfish people are. And I'm not using these words. This is all part of Bhagavatam. They are called Grahametis. Grahametis are the one who are very, very, very self-oriented, very hard-hearted people where we cannot get anything out of them. They only think about themselves. And there are, to the extreme case, they don't even think about their own family members. Some people are there. They don't even think about their family members. They only think about their self. I. They don't care about my wife, my husband, my daughter, my fam. I have to be happy. You all please take care of me and make me happy. That's how people are there in the world. But Grahastha means having open-hearted, being charitable, having the association of saintly people, serving everyone, serving the community. Coming out of the comfort zone is one of the important principles for Grahasthas. We are all in a comfort zones, right? For me, Saturday means it has to be no one should disturb me. I will sleep till 11 o'clock, get up, have a breakfast and lunch together, and then I want to do certain things. I will not take, no one should call me for anything. I'm just giving an example. Therefore, we are in our certain closed environment of this is how I want to be. But that is not what we are supposed to do. We have to be coming outside of our comfort zone. I want to help others. I want to, it is hard. It may be hard. You may not find time, you may not have enough resources, you may not have enough support, you may not have financially, but doesn't matter. The willingness of wanting to help others, God will provide everything. The facilities will be made for us, arrange things for us. Anyone who follows dharma will protect them. As a grahastha, we should extend ourselves little bit. And when our that circle is extended little bit, then again we try to extend little bit more. Again we extend little bit more. And we'll be surprised to see we can do a lot of things for the world. We can do a lot of wonderful things for the world. Be a useful human being for the world. But it all starts from us. I want to do something for the society. I want to do something for Krishna by helping others in Krishna consciousness. So that's the important thing for the Grahasthas to do. A person who wears a proper shoe will be protected from the pebbles and stones and the muddy things. right? If you don't wear a proper shoe, you go barefoot, then obviously there'll be a lot of pebbles and stones and things is going to hurt your feet. So a person who has a suitable shoe on his feet, there's no danger for him. He can walk wherever he wants. Likewise, for a person who's always self-satisfied or is completely satisfied, is like wearing a shoe to protect him. So a person who is self-satisfied will be completely protected by the disturbance that can be caused externally by adhyatmika, adibhautika, adidevika. They will be completely protected. So these are the messages that Narada Muni was trying to tell to Yudhishthira Maharaj. After saying this, now he is going to tell one more story. Are you all ready for another story, Rukmini and Anirudh?
Prabhuji, I am very excited.
Okay, what about you, Anirudh? Are you ready for another story?
Very excited.
You are also very excited. I am also very excited now to tell because you are excited. Thank you. Someone else?
Prabhuji, yes, this is Jyoti. I have a question related to the part you explained before. Should I wait till the end or can I ask it right away?
Okay. Can you write it down so you don't forget?
I won't forget.
Okay, let
I'm
me
not a
finish.
kid though.
You have a kid?
I am not a kid. I won't forget.
No, I forget. That's why.
Oh, okay. No problem. Got it.
Thank you. Thank you. Just hold on. Let me finish it. So now, Narada Muni, because now I don't want to disappoint the children, let me finish the story. Now, Narada Muni was telling, let me tell you a story about myself, Yudhishthira. Is going to tell a story which we had never heard, right? Do anyone know who was Narada Muni in his previous life?
Prabhuji, can I tell?
Yes,
He was a small boy.
he was a small boy, he was son of who? He was son of a maid.
Maid servant.
Yeah, thank you. You remember, we covered these things in past. So Narada Muni was son of a maid servant. But then, no one asked this question that time, how did he become a servant son? That means he must have been someone else before to become servant of a maid. Therefore, Narada Muni tells a story here. It's a short story. He says that, my dear Yudhishthira Maharaj, in another kalpa, Mahakalpa, I was a Gandharva. I was a celestial being. I was a Gandharva means a celestial being. There are different types of beings are there. There are 400,000 beings are there. We are just one out of 400,000 called human being. There are Kinkaras, there are Gandharvas, there are Yakshas, there are Rakshasas, there are Devatas. Many different types, grades of different consciousness beings are there. So I was Gandharva, known as Upa Barhana. His name was Upa Barhana. Okay. I was very good in singing songs. Very good in singing songs. So there was a gathering happened by Prajapatis. I was also invited. But when I went there, because I was looking so handsome, I was very handsome looking person. Anyone will easily get attracted to my features, myself. So I was surrounded by so many women and I was singing songs. The women were happy and this was going on. But then the great people were around me. They thought my behavior was not good. They were upset with me. Therefore, they cursed me to be born a son of a Shudra, a maidservant. That's how I was born as son of a maid. But then I got the association of saintly people. By the association of the saintly people, I learned to chant the name of God. And by the association and by chanting the name of God, then I, whom you see now, Narada Muni, became Narada Muni. Therefore, for everyone, we should be very fortunate to have the association of saintly people. And we should feel very fortunate that we are able to chant the name of God. If these two things are not there, life is bhaktya tu ananya sakyaha ahameva vidu Arjuna. That's how we started today's session. We won't be able to do any bhakti. Bhakti means with the devotion, with the association of devotees, with the association of saintly people. Bhakti does not mean only directly with God. Bhakti means being with devotees, being with us in the association of saintly people. Therefore, Narada Muni told this one, and Yudhishthira Maharaj becomes so happy. And he thanked Narada Muni for giving us wonderful instructions to him. And there ends Narada Muni's description to Yudhishthira Maharaj. And Sukadeva Goswami narrating Narada Muni's story to Parikshit Maharaj, where this was explained by Suta Goswami to the rishis of Naimisharanya. And here in St. Louis, now we are all hearing the same Srimad Bhagavatam. It is just, we are also fortunate to be able to get access to Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is not possible unless and until our gurus, especially Srila Prabhupada, who has done so much in his age of 70, he came out of India. Just think about ourselves. If we are in the age of 70, what to speak about 70? If we cross 50, and people nowadays want to retire in 45, 40 and 45. Why? They don't want to do anything else. 55, 60, as we go through, we don't want to do, we want to slow down everything that we do. But Srila Prabhupada was increasing what he wants to do in the age of 70. He left India just so that he can give Srimad Bhagavatam to the world, to everyone. At the age of 70, he started translating these books in English, having only sleeping for a few hours, couple of hours every night, traveling different countries and places, giving the knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita to everyone. Now Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita are in Chinese language, Arabic language, Russian language, so many different language. You can see it's all the seed that put by that old person when he was in 70s. So we are fortunate to have be able to read Srimad Bhagavatam by proper understanding, by their grace, Prabhupada's grace, Guru Parampara grace. We are to be thankful for them. With that said, we have completed Canto 7. What's coming up next week? Onwards, it's all stories. Canto 8, Gajendra Moksha, Bali Maharaj story. Next. Canto 9, about Ramachandra, Sri Ramachandra. And other stories also. I'm just telling the primary ones here, principal ones here. Canto 10 onwards, rest of Bhagavatam, I can say. It's all about Krishna. 10 is primary one. That's all Srimad Bhagavatam is. It's all stories that's coming up. I think we went through all the difficult parts, philosophical part. So from next week, we can sit back, relax, and enjoy the stories. But the story that we are going to see next week is Gajendra Moksha. Will put us on the edge of the seat because it's going to be a climax in that story. Push us to the climax. With that said, I would like to stop here and open up for questions. The first question we can hear from Jyoti. Jyoti ji, please go ahead.
Yes. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. My question is regarding the topic that you touched today about Grihastha Shramis. You mentioned that a man should not think that he is the proprietor. he has to remember that the show is run by Krishna. He is just a Jivatma who belongs to Krishna. And then you said that a woman has to remember that she has to serve her husband, who is a Jivatma that belongs to Krishna. My question was, are women not considered a separate Jivatma? Eh, Only servitude to their husbands is their only way to moksha? Are they
The,
not considered equal?
the equality is not taken away by serving someone, irrespective of whether it's a woman, whether it's a man. Every one of us are meant to serve. That's a ultimate. That's a principle. Principle is simple. Whether you're a man or whether you're a woman, doesn't matter. Principle is to serve someone else. Now the husband is serving Krishna. I'm giving an example. I'll give an example. Husband is serving Krishna. Now the wife helping the husband, serving the husband to serve Krishna. That's how we have to take this whole thing. Because the woman has certain skills which men does not have. If you ask me to make a garland, to make nice garland to put for Krishna, I don't know how to make garland. Not that I don't want to learn. I can focus on other things. But women are skilled with certain things. They are very artistic. They are wonderful in cooking. They are wonderful in showing their love to people, their children. The men are not like that. They lack certain qualities that what women have. Women are much more submissive than men. I'm sorry to say this, but the fact is, men are more egoistic in one sense. The women, that is why you never see the men get married and goes to in-laws house. Have you seen that any time where after marriage the boy goes to stay in in-laws house permanently? It doesn't happen. Why? You know why? Because men cannot adjust. That's the truth. But how come women can go into someone else's house? Because they can adjust. They can adjust staying in their house. They can adjust in staying with their in-laws house. They can adjust even after husband passed away to be with their children, with their daughter-in-law. They can be adjustable. Not adjustable, they can adjust. These are some special qualities that women has that men doesn't have. In that way, women are greater in many sense. So the equality does not come into the picture by putting a statement of serving husband, putting wife down. That is not what is. Service means is great. We should not think that service means putting someone down. That's a
Okay.
wrong idea. The president of the country is serving the country people, the citizens, with that post. So he is also a leader servant. We know this term called leader servant. He's a
Mhm.
servant. The king is a servant to the citizen. The husband is a servant to the family. The wife is servant to the family. Everyone is a servant. We are all serving.
Okay.
By
Okay.
doing service, not that we are put down, we are really put placed in a higher platform.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, you can ask further questions so I can try to elaborate on this topic.
No, no, no. For now, I'm good. I'm good for now. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So there are exceptions always. Exceptions will exist in every case. So there are great saints and women who have not gone through this path. They've taken direct bhakti as process.
Prabhuji,
One second, let me finish. They've taken the direct bhakti as process, but there are exceptions. We should
Okay.
know from our heart, or we should always think, I am not the exceptional case. If we think I am exceptional, that means ahankar comes. So we
Right.
should know we are not exception. Let's follow the traditional way of attaining God. If this is what the Dharma Shastra says, duties of men, duties of women, let's follow that. and we'll attain the same result what men is going to attain, women will also attain. Moksha is common to everyone. God never says moksha are only for men. Moksha is for everyone, men or women, or even some exceptions are there where animals get moksha that we are going to see next canto.
Mhm.
So God is not differentiating anyone by saying reserving moksha for men. But what he's saying is you follow your dharma to attain moksha.
Okay.
If I am working for a company, I'm getting paid. I do my job, I get paid. If I try to do my boss job, then I'm not going to be paid extra. I will only get paid what I have to get paid, but that is not even going to be appreciated in one sense. Because let the boss, manager, the CEO of the company do his job, let the director do his job, let the next people do their respective job. But everyone is ultimately going to get salaried.
Okay.
Likewise, whether you're a woman or whether you are a man, bhakti is principal rule. Everyone has to perform bhakti. How do we perform bhakti? Keeping Krishna as focus. I serve my family, I serve my husband. Likewise, husband, keeping Krishna as focus. Let me serve my wife, let me serve my family. And when that consciousness grows, let's keep Krishna as center, as focus. Let me extend myself beyond my family member, see others also my family members, serve them also.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Rukmini,
Thank
back
you,
to you.
Prabhuji.
So, Prabhuji, in the when Prahlad was asking about the saint, then what did the saint tell about the python?
Okay. What is the saint say about Python is Python say, sometime do you want something from your parents?
Yes,
If you don't get what you want from your parents, what happens to you, Rukmini?
I will be sad.
If it is sad, and it's only not sad, sometimes you get upset, angry, right?
Yes,
Yeah, I don't tell to everyone, don't worry about it. So you get sad, right?
yes,
Okay. But if you just take whatever your parents gives you, will you be sad?
no,
That is what we learn from Python. Python, what it does is, it does not hanker for things. I want this, I want that. I will not be happy if I don't get this one. Python doesn't do that one. If whatever food it gets today, it eats and be happy. Make
yes,
sense? Like that, what did you learn from Python now?
that um that from Python I learned that
Yeah, you have to speak what you know, what you learned.
yes, so from Python that I learned that if I get something then I should accept it. If I don't get something, I shouldn't.
Thank you. Very good. Both the case, one word, acceptance. Where when you get something, accept it. When you don't get something, accept it. Okay?
Okay,
Whether you get or you don't get. By that, what happens is you can be happy
okay,
always. That is what we have to learn from Python. Hope you can apply that.
okay.
Okay? Anyone else? Any other questions or any comments, corrections?
Prabhuji, what is Mahakalpa?
You know, in Brahma lifetime, this is going to, yeah, Brahma has long life. Our life is 1 year of our life. 1 year means 360 days, 65 days, right? Our 1 year is equal to 1 day for Indra's. Our 1 year is equal to 1 day for Indra. Understand? Like that, Brahma, as we go higher and higher and higher, Brahma lifetime, 1 day of Brahma is 1,000 of yugas. Okay. And like that, that is called a kalpa. Kalpa or collections of yugas together is called kalpa. And in one of the kalpa, we don't know which kalpa, Mahakalpa, one of the kalpa, this incident happened where Narada Muni explained. One of the day, different day, not this time, different time in Brahma's lifetime, that Narada Muni was a Gandharva. That's what it meant. And that's what kalpa means.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Of course, that kalpa is a big math calculation. I just kept it short. Anyone else have any questions?
Hare Krishna, this is Kiran.
Kiranji, please.
I'm going back to Jyotiji's question.
Okay.
She used two different words herself, service and servitude. And like you said, service requires attention, respect, and devotion. Servitude is just slavery. And she herself used both of those words. It's just a comment. So what you are referring to is that we should be of service, not that we should be in servitude.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Well, let me ask you one question. This is a nice point. I know sometimes when you write emails, I myself have to find dictionaries. You're very good in writing. I just want to accept that. Thank you for bringing this and the deeper meaning of servitude and service. Now, let me ask this question, Kiranji. When did India get independence?
1947.
1947. Okay. How was the situation before that? How was Indian and how the whole situation was between the Indians and British?
They were the colonizers, and we did not really have any choice.
Sir, I'm wanting to use that word. So how do we call ourselves?
We were in servitude.
Servitude. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. So before 1947, we were in the position of servitude. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Now, 1947, we got the independence. What after that?
We are free. So we have a choice.
Okay, good. But here, that time before 1947, someone was ruling us? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. After 1947, still someone is ruling us?
By choice.
Yes, just I want to hear the answer, yes or no. I'll connect
Yes.
everything together.
Yes.
Before 1947, someone was ruling us.
Mm-hmm.
After 1947, someone is still ruling us. The first one was out of force.
Yes.
The second one was out of choice.
Yes.
Okay. But both are servitude.
No. The first one was servitude. The later one is not servitude.
Here is the thing. Second one, we voluntarily accepted servitude
Yes.
out of love.
Yes. Yeah.
That's my point. We
Yeah.
voluntarily choose to be servant of someone.
Yes.
In the first case, I didn't want to. I was forced to be servant of someone.
Yes.
Therefore, servitude by itself is not bad, it whether by choice or whether by force. If I
Okay.
accept, whether if I accept my family, I like to serve, be a servant of my family because I love them. Servitude. If I love Krishna, I want to be a menial servant, servitude, because I love him. This is
Okay.
by choice. This is by choice, which makes that servitude attitude as in a higher position than by force.
Yes, I understand.
Thank you.
So by choice, there is devotion, respect, and love.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thank you.
So every single leader try to do the same thing. I want to be, as I said, I will serve this family as a servant. I will serve the nation as a servant. I will serve my husband as a servant. I will serve my wife as a servant. And the servant mean staying in their respective duty and performing service to others. That's how it has to be understood clearly. One should not say that, oh, you call yourself a servant, prime minister or president, then why don't you come with me to the come with me to, I don't know, magic house. Why don't you come and do this thing, play golf with me? Well, that doesn't mean so. One maintains their respective roles and responsibilities, but internally they have the consciousness that I am a servant. Okay, I think we have spoken enough, I guess, right? You're okay, Jyoti ji and Kiran ji, on this service servant?
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. Any other question? We have 3 more minutes. Anyone else wants to share something? Anyone here for the first time or newcomer?
Yeah, Prabhuji, this is Srivalli from India. I'm here.
Srivalli ji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Thank you for
Yeah,
joining.
I'm from, thank you.
Go
It's
ahead.
my pleasure. I'm from Hyderabad. I was just hearing this Bhagavad Gita classes and all. So Narayana was talking about you saying about this Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam classes and all. So I thought I will just join. So last week, I could not really join from the first. So for today, I was hearing from the first and it was very nice. Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. Thank you so much. It was really my pleasure to be here. Yeah. Thank you. Jai
Thank you. I know
Krishna.
it's late for you, but you still stayed with us. That's very encouraging for all of us. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So if there is no other questions, stay tuned, as we always say, for the next new canto, Canto 8, Gajendra Moksha. So be prepared. And if you have children, if you have anyone else who would like to be joining, please bring them. It is a story, enlivening story. It's going to be story time. Okay.
Actually, Prabhuji, I'm 58 years old. When I was in 10th class, we had these lessons, Gajendra Moksham and Sita Parityagam. So more than kids, I'm excited to listen about this.
I'm sorry. I hope you don't get disappointed because I'm not a very good speaker or storyteller. I will try.
No,
so don't be
you
disappointed.
are a very good speaker. Now I heard about the service and then this thing, the way you explained, my God. It was a great explanation. Excellent.
Okay. Thank you. I really appreciate for the encouragement. Ashok Prabhu, back to you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for such a nice class today. So first of all, I want to apologize that the note for the class went out like very late last night. Just that I was busy with a lot of work and forgot to send. So this shouldn't happen next time. So I don't think there's anything else on the agenda for today, at least. So we'll see you next Saturday.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. You all have a wonderful Krishna conscious.
Can you share me the link, anything directly? Because always I'm troubling Narayana to share the link for this Bhagavatam.
So if you send your email to Naran Prabhu, he can just send us your contact, and I can add you.
Yeah, Narayana Prabhu only is sending the link every time, but
Okay. So just
pardon?
Just send your email to him so that I can put you on the email. So we'll send you the email. The link.
Done. Okay. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare